Big news out of Israel. Trump is insisting that Jordan and Egypt take in refugees from Gaza. Watch this clip from a recent interview that he did in the Oval Office.
The President and the King of Jordan have both said that they won't take in displaced people from Gaza like you suggested. Is there anything you can do to make them do that? I mean, tariffs against those countries, for example?
They will do it. They will do it.
What makes you say that?
They're going to do it. Okay? We do a lot for them, and they're going to do it.
In every other single war, when a country conquers a piece of land, that land becomes theirs. But I'm going to get to the spiritual reasoning for it in just a moment, because as we know, whenever you're talking about Israel and the Jewish people, you can't just look at it like every other country or like every other nation. There's also a spiritual aspect of it as well. So you have the fact that they conquered it, and now you have the fact that the Gazans need somewhere to live. Why not go into Jordan? Why not go into Egypt? They have much more culturally associated with these countries than they do with the Jewish people. We all know how the Gazan people feel about the Jewish people. So Israel has a right, not only a right, I hate when everyone says Israel has a right to protect itself. Israel has an absolute necessity to protect its citizens. And the best way to do that is to get as far away from the Gazan people as possible. So they take these people and they put them into their neighboring countries and they let them live with their cousins and their brothers in Egypt and in Jordan. But it goes so much deeper than that. I'm interrupting this video for 15 seconds to tell you about my business, which is called Wealthy Recruiting. We recruit everything from operations people to business development people. If you are looking for great people to work in your business, please go to berelsolomon.com and reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. The Torah tells us that people that live in Israel that are not Jewish are more than welcome to live in Israel. You're allowed to live there. It's not just a Jewish country where only Jews are allowed to live. No, not at all. If you look at the Torah, if you look at the Bible, you are allowed to live in Israel if you are not Jewish. However, there's one caveat to that. You have to behave yourself. You have to be respectful. You have to not pose a danger or a threat to the Jewish people. As soon as the people of Gaza began to pose a threat to the land of Israel and to the inhabitants, the Jewish inhabitants in Israel, at that very moment, they relinquished their right to live in the land of Israel. And it might just be divine providence that as soon as they did this, as soon as they actually acted on their threats, they acted on their free Palestine mumbo jumbo, and they went and they committed the atrocities of October 7th. As soon as they did that, it might just be divine providence garbed in Donald Trump himself saying, now that you have committed this atrocity, you no longer have the right to live in the land of Israel. And that's what I believe is going on. God is making his will known. Now, will it actually happen? I hope it happens. I hope they remove the Gazans from Gaza because they pose a threat. They pose a real threat to the Jewish people. As long as they were peaceful, they're more than welcome to live there. As soon as they turn anarchists, as soon as they turn violent, murderous, at that moment they have to leave the land of Israel. They no longer have the right to live there. And just to back it up one step further, the Torah, the Bible, commands the Jewish people. It gives them a real commandment. It's actually from Numbers 33:55. It says, if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land, meaning the ones that are there that are not respectful, the ones that are there that are absolutely committed and hell-bent on the destruction of your land, if you do not drive out the inhabitants of that land, those that you will allow to remain will become barbs in your eyes, thorns in your eyes, and thorns in your sides. They will give you trouble in the land that you will live. It's already written in the Torah, and that's exactly what happened. The Gazans have been allowed to live there. They have not been driven out. They've threatened Israel for years, for decades. And finally, they acted on what it is that they promised, that they were going to try to free Palestine at any cost, spill as much Jewish blood as possible. And now that they've done that, now we're seeing divine providence. The President of the United States is saying that they no longer retain the right to live in Gaza. And that is actually according to Torah, but not just according to Torah, by the way, it's according to logic as well. So Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu right now is in the United States. He just landed there, and that's probably what the main focus of his meeting is going to be with President Trump. I hope that it goes well. God bless Israel. God bless the United States, and God bless the leaders, that they should have the wisdom and the integrity and the foresight to know how to finally end this cycle of bloodshed. God bless our leaders. God bless the land of Israel.